If you are not, at the very least, thinking about trademarking your candle brand right now, your business that you worked so hard to build could potentially be in danger. Hi, my name is Jay Catalano. Have you seen Jeff Stanley's video on the trademark buzz that is recently making a resurgence in the candle making world? You didn't? What are you, living under a candle? I'll link his video in the description below. Recently, Jeff Stanley posted a video about the trademarking dilemma associated with homesick candles. Trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this so you can protect yourself and your business, as this will undoubtedly affect you at some point in your candle making journey. Quick recap in case you have no clue what I'm talking about. Homesick Candles has been applying for multiple trademarks, 140 in total, since 2018. And recently they added a bunch to that list. Basically, they have been submitting applications to trademark many words or phrases that you and I might use or already use in our candles. They have applied for trademarks in city names as Miami, Chicago, and my hometown of New York City. They have applied for trademarks in astrological signs such as Aquarius, Scorpio, and my astrological sign of Capricorn. They have applied for trademarks in everyday terms such as just married, pumpkin picking, and my least favorite activity, spring cleaning. What does this all mean? Well, let's talk about it, but please know I am not a lawyer or your legal advisor. However, before we delve in, let's answer a few questions. Who is Homesick Candles? What is a trademark? How many trademarks have they applied for? And what do these trademark applications actually mean for you and me? Okay, so Homesick Candles is a candle company created by co-founder Nate Schmiedehouse, hopefully I said his name right, but was acquired by BV Growth, the Win Brands Group, in 2018. And in case you were wondering, WinBG is a modern holding company that specializes in buying and building brands that matter. So basically, you do all the hard work, they buy you out and take your brand to a whole new level. And according to their website, Homesick Candle has grown by 225%, selling over 1.2 million candles in the process. It's a pretty genius idea if you think about it, man. I wish I had that kind of money. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, what is a trademark? A trademark is a word, phrase, symbol, or design that represents a brand or company. It's basically like a signature for a business. Trademarks are important for a few reasons. First and foremost, they help consumers identify the source of a product or service. Let's take Nike, for example. If you see the Nike swoosh on a pair of shoes, you know that they were made by Nike. This is especially important when it comes to evaluating the quality of a product. If you know that a product is made by a reputable company, you can have more confidence in its quality. Trademarks also help protect the business's reputation, in that if another company started using Nike's trademark without permission, it could confuse customers and damage Nike's reputation. Trademarks also help prevent other companies from unfairly benefiting from the hard work and reputation that a business has built. So, as you can see, trademarking is a very important step in business, especially if you have a growing and thriving brand. Have you trademarked your brand yet? And if you wouldn't mind subscribing right now so my wife will stop saying, you only have 2,600 subscribers, anyone can do that. I'd really appreciate it. Now, here's the million-dollar question. How many Homesick Candle trademarks are waiting to be approved, waiting to be examined or denied from the list of trademark applications Homesick Candles has applied for? First, let's make something very clear. This is not a bashing session on Homesick Candles. I actually think what they are doing is quite smart in a business sense. I believe they feel they are protecting their brand. I don't agree with some of the phrases and words that they are trying to trademark, but it is something you and I need to seriously think about for our own businesses. I mean, why not try to lock up certain terms for your specific niche if you can, so that you and only you can benefit from it, unless you license it out for a fee. Wouldn't you try to fully protect your brand if you had the resources to do so? I know I would. So again, this isn't a bashing session on Homesick Candles. Anyway, interestingly, they have only applied for trademarks in the Class 4 candle category and nothing else yet thus far. So if you make soaps, clothing, or jewelry that uses the same terms Homesick Candles applied for trademarks for, you don't have to worry, as they have only applied for trademarks in the Class 4 for candles. So, according to the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, Homesick BVG LLC has 140 applications listed on the USPTO website as of the date of this recording. Let's break down the status of those 140 applications. They have 14 live registrations issued and active, including, and this is a no-brainer, Homesick. That means that those 14 that have been issued are trademarked cannot be used unless it is licensed out for a fee. On the contrary, they have 18 dead applications that have been refused, dismissed, or invalidated, which means that those names can be used and you don't have to worry, as they do not have a trademark for those terms. That also probably means that if you try to trademark those names, you too would be denied. So now you know. In addition, they have 3 live applications under examination, which means that the USPTO is currently reviewing those potential trademarks. In addition to that, they have 5 live applications published for opposition, which means a pending trademark application has been examined by the office and has been published in a way that provides an opportunity for the public to oppose its registration. And lastly, they have 100 live applications awaiting examination, which means the trademark application has been accepted by the office, but it has not yet been assigned to an examiner. And just so you know, some of those 100 live applications waiting for examinations have been waiting since May of 2020. Remember May of 2020, when the pandemic was in full swing? That's a long time. Okay, but what does this all mean for me and you, especially if you want to use terms like pumpkin picking, grandma's kitchen, or snow day? Can you get in trouble if you use a term that is still waiting approval from the USPTO? The short answer is no. And according to Abe Cohen, a trademark attorney in New York City, a valid trademark is required before sending a cease and desist letter. Whew, that's good to know. However, let's be real, that hasn't stopped lawyers or people from sending cease and desist letters regardless of their approval status. Oh wait, you don't know what a cease and desist letter is? No worries. A cease and desist letter is a correspondence through the mail or email that states you are potentially infringing the trademark of another and demands that you stop using the accused mark. Basically, it's a letter that says, stop using what's mine or else. The letter is usually written by a lawyer and sent to someone who is engaging in a behavior that is considered illegal. I use quotes because unless you have a trademark, it isn't considered illegal. The letter explains the legal reasoning for why the behavior needs to stop, and it may also include a warning about the consequences of not stopping the behavior. It's important to note that a cease and desist letter is not a legal order or a lawsuit, but it can be a precursor to legal action if the trademark is legally binding and if the recipient does not stop the behavior in question. So can you receive a cease and desist letter from Homesick Candle or anyone else for that matter if you are using their terms that are still waiting for approval? The answer is they shouldn't send you one, but, and I'm not saying that Homesick Candles has done this, although I have heard through the grapevine that they have. In general, people have been known to send cease and desist style letters anyway, without repercussions, and that is why you need to know what is going on and how to protect yourself. You see, I told you this would be important. Did you know trademark cease and desist letters are not created equally? According to Abe Cohen, it's important to know not all cease and desist letters are drafted with the same intent. When the trademark owner has a strong case, the letter will likely be more aggressive and urgent in tone, threatening litigation if the infringer does not comply with the requests. While cease and desist letters from trademark owners with a weaker case will typically be more conciliatory and open to negotiation. It's also important to know that according to Abe Cohen, if you receive a cease and desist letter, very frequently those letters are bluffing tools with no intended bite behind the bark. So, would it not be in the interest of Homesick Candles or any other business owner who wants to protect certain parts of their brand to send some form of letter, not just a cease and desist letter, regardless of approval? Especially if it stops the behavior with no further action? However, with all that said, here is what you should know and understand. Usually these big candle companies have lawyers and financial means to intimidate far beyond what you and I can handle financially and emotionally. Those letters, real or not, are intended to scare the shit out of us small business owners, and usually that is all that is needed to do the trick. So your best bet is to know your rights and don't be intimidated. Remember, 100 words or phrases of the date of this video have not been approved yet. Heck, they haven't even been examined yet. And I would bet a lot of them wouldn't get approved. But then again, it's the United States government, so who the heck knows? Listen, I know it's easier said than done, but you have access to the USPTO and you know what is and what isn't trademarked by doing a little research. That is your first line of defense. Besides, you can contest terms or phrases that you feel aren't trademarkable or that you feel you have been using long before Homesick Candles or anyone else for that matter, if that is the case. That's right, you can contest it. It's called the Letter of Protest Practice Tip. I'll add a link to that page in the description below as well. Then, once you are in research mode, see what terms or branding you have that might be in potential trademark violation, not just with Homesick Candles, with anybody, and adjust accordingly. And lastly, think about trademarking your brand as soon as you can, especially if you're growing steadily. It might not seem like a necessity, but if you are ever big enough that someone is considering buying you out, one of the first things they're gonna ask is, have you trademarked your brand? I mean, would you rush to buy a company that had a brand that wasn't protected by a trademark when you could potentially recreate it yourself? I don't know. It's worth the discussion. And take a look at these videos that are popping up now. They're gonna help you on your candle making journey. Until next time, thanks for watching. Ciao.